Greetings and welcome to the People's Ascension for another night of our month of one-shots charity drive in support of reproductive rights and abortion access. Tonight we're going to be playing some Dragons of Amylte, and I'm very excited for this game because it's sort of a prequel to, well, you may remember this overlay and all of these lovely faces from Season 2 of RPGs Uncovered, in which we uncovered Heroic Chord, and it was a fantastic game. And you might notice the Rose Warden mauled down here under my screen. Also, hello, I'm in a different screen today. This game will be GM'd by Kat here, the creator of this game, as well as Heroic Chord, and she's going to take us on some amazing baby dragon adventures.
Yes.
Before we get to that, however, some opening announcements, as I'm sure you are all used to. Yes, this is a month-long charity drive. It is a charity. It is a cause that I feel very strongly about. It is something that I think is very important to everybody, to the nation, to human rights as a whole. So I decided to run this month-long charity. This is a game that was in the works before that even came up, so thank you to my three other cast members here for going along with that and being so supportive and so embracing of that idea, and helping get this all set up in time. But yes, this is a charity drive, so that means there is a donation link down in the About section of our page here. You can just click on the little banner, or there's a link there. There's also a link to the National Abortion Federation and the Center for Reproductive Rights. All donations received are going to be split and sent out to both of those organizations. The Center for Reproductive Rights, of course, is the worldwide sort of most renowned, biggest organization for reproductive rights around the world. They have branches all over the place. They try to advocate and help support reproductive rights in many countries that have not had the safety and freedoms and quality of life that we've come to expect here in America. And now that we've lost a lot of that, they're refocusing a good chunk of their efforts right back here to protect the rights of people here. So some of the money is going to them, and then some of the money is going to the National Abortion Federation, which has two specific funds that they're working through right now. One is dedicated to helping providers, making sure that they are safe, making sure that they have the supplies that they need, making sure that they are properly staffed and protected and have training and have legal advocates and whatnot, because there's a lot of fantastic organizations out there that focus on the people who need the operations, who need the support and whatnot. But we also have to remember that the providers of these things are also very much at risk now, both legally and from crazy violent people. So they need support. Another part of the National Abortion Funds is going to fund dedicated to actually providing financial aid, travel aid, family aid to the people who need those operations, because there's a lot more than just paying for the procedure. So they provide travel advisors that make sure they can get from point A to point B safely and discreetly, provide access to childcare, and provide access to affordable lodging and food and all of that stuff. So there's a lot that goes into these two organizations, and they both really could use your support. So anything we get is getting split down the middle and sent to those two organizations. If you have any additional questions about them, there are links down below to go look at each of those charities, each of those organizations individually. But not only does your donation really help support this very important cause and those very important organizations, it can also affect the game. Because, Kat, I believe I mentioned this to you before, but just as a reminder, any donation over $25 will provide a boon to a player or the players as a whole. So for $25, you can. This is a very mechanically light game, but some extra either narrative or mechanical bonus. And for a $50 donation, you can make it harder, which is a lot more intimidating when we're talking about Cyberpunk. But if we get a big donation, feel free to make things even more difficult, or even more awkward and adorable. Whatever is more you, Kat. And
Yeah.
of course, every $250, there's a little tracker up at the top over there, which I'm closer to today. Every $250 that we raise triggers a giveaway. There's all kinds of really fun prizes provided by a number of very generous donors, sponsors, from indie games to full-fledged core rule books to gift cards to places, fiction books, all kinds of great stuff that we can pull from. And with that, I believe that is all the relevant information for the charity itself. I'm foregoing any announcements of my personal channel. I'm not the center of the show here. Let me pass it over to all of these other wonderful people to introduce themselves. Let's, of course, start with Kat. Welcome back. Thank you for creating
Hi.
another fantastic game and for running it for us tonight.
I'm so excited.
Say hello and where we can find you, what you're doing.
I am Kat. I wrote Heroic Chord, and then I wrote a kind of a whimsical little family game based on Heroic Chord, which is this one. You can find my podcast, Sort of Symphonies, and most of my games at peachgardengames.com. And you can find me on Twitter at Catlinggun. That's Catling gun. Pew 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 pew.
All right. I will post some of those links in chat. Well, Badger here. Hello, welcome back yourself. Say hi. Tell us about you, where we can find your stuff.
Hey, I'm Badger the Cynic. I'm on Twitter at Badger the Cynic. I'm on Twitch at Badger the Cynic. I'm not very creative with variety in my usernames.
Or you're very good at branding.
Yeah, or that. I'm really glad to be back. I'm really excited. This is a great cause. And, these are great people. I had so much fun playing last time. I'm excited to jump back in with everybody again.
All right. And of course, we have Donna back once again. Likewise, welcome back. What are you up to at the moment? Where can we find you?
Hello, everyone. I'm back. You can find me on Twitter at Shabro. That's XIABRO. That's where I mainly can be found. I'm doing a lot of voice acting gigs and a lot of things that I can't talk about at the moment. But hopefully, as you continue, if you follow me and you continue to monitor what I'm doing, you'll see a lot of cool stuff. So thanks for having me on. Very excited to play with some dragons.
Very excited. And speaking of dragons, one thing I forgot before we get started, we have character art. We have adorable little dragons down by our portraits here. They are provided by Dice to Infinity. Great person. They provided these illustrations and perhaps even more coming up for the charity, free of charge. I have links down over at the bottom there at Dice to Infinity on Twitter, and you can go through the link tree to find all of their other fantastic artwork, because they do a lot of great stuff. They have cartoon stuff like this. They do logos. They do more, I guess, traditional fantasy character portraits and whatnot. Great person, great artist. Go check them out. But without any further ado, I think it is time to pass this along to Kat to for some baby dragon adventures.
Hello. So, the Dragons of Amylte. If you've read Heroic Chord or if you watched The Creeping Tangle, you'll know a thing or two about them. They can grow to be indescribably ancient. Uncanny shapeshifters of all sizes and basically any appearance they choose. They are not hostile to people, but not necessarily great at interacting with them all the time. They're not born but made. They appear magically in the kind of places where the pull between two stationary gods is strongest. So they do have parents. But it means a little something different to them, I suppose. But like all creatures, they aren't born knowing everything. When they are first created, they are awkward, wiggly little creatures who need to explore the world in order to find out what different shapes they can choose for themselves. And that's where we find our characters. There's two mechanics I want to talk about before we get into introductions, and The first is that, just like in Heroic Chord, we're going to be rolling 6-sided dice. We're going to be building a dice pool based on your answers to 4 questions. I'll be asking them pretty much anytime you want to do something risky. You can change shape based into one of the shapes you know, just automatically. You don't need to roll for it. You don't need to expend any resources. You can move freely between your available shapes. And finally, there's no real experience in this game. You get instead sparks. And sparks are given from one player to another when you think someone else has done something cute or funny or clever or useful. Basically, when you want to encourage one of your fellow players to do more of what they were just doing, give them a spark. So please feel free to just shout one another out anytime that you feel like one of your players has done something adorable, because you probably have. And then between scenes, you can trade these in for more shapes. I feel like I can also let the audience do it. So audience, let me know if you want to give a spark to one of the dragons as well.
You know what? That would be a great great donation incentive. Let's make it cheap. The
Okay.
minimum is $5. $5 donation. Give somebody a spark.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna trust you to keep an eye on that because I don't have the donation
Yes.
tracker up. Beautiful. So make sure to mention in a donation comment or in chat who you want that spark to go to. And we will encourage some babies. It is a bright, sunny, clear day in late spring. The kind of day where you imagine that it's a very good thing that it is spring because the sun is completely unobstructed, and in a couple of months that will be unbearable. But it is spring. The wind is blowing. There's a thread of rain on a distant horizon that may or may not ever even make it here. And we are in a grove of small, thin, wiry trees that have just recently shed all their snowy white petals. Some of them can still be seen tangled in the grass below. And nearby this place, there is a little settlement full of humans. They sometimes wander around here, too, which you must be careful of, for they are much bigger than you are. Normally. They don't really have control over their size, but you do. And I think I would like to start in kind of reverse introduction order, and I would like to say, Donna, please tell us about Karpinchi.
Karpinchi, for a lack of better word, is really, really dumb. They have no intelligence, and I would argue below negative, sub-zero. Just they're here to vibe. They go purely based off vibes, and they're just like, oh, like if they want to do something, they'll do something. If they don't want to do something, they don't have to do it. And right now, they're probably trying to copy some of the shapes that they see on the ground. Those leaves that are tangled in the grass after they've fallen off the trees, they're copying them. Not successfully, because again, pure vibes, not precision and nothing that would look remotely accurate. And in fact, if you were to happen upon Karpinchi during this very moment, you would probably just see a vague brown blob just wiggling, but you know, making some content, happy noises as it does so.
And what is Brackish up to in this little grove?
So Brackish is full of curiosity and sort of clumsy about it. He desperately wants to know what everything is, but he has very limited control over his limbs, and his excitement sort of takes over sometimes. And, you know, in his rush to figure out what something might be, he often will scare things off and you know, go crashing through the brush that he's trying to subtly investigate, and so he's probably chasing a butterfly, or trying desperately to climb a tree and not quite sure why he can't manage that with flippers instead of claws.
Can't do it. Bracky, she can't do it. And last but absolutely not least, and I resent any allegations in chat to the contrary, we have the return of a beautiful familiar face. It is Maud.
Yes, Maud, the Rose Warden. Maud is not the gigantic, magnificent dragon that we've seen last time in the Creeping Tangle. No, this is long, long ago, when Maud was a little baby dragon. Maud is, in this form, a slender serpentine dragon, no limbs or wings, but alabaster scales that fade to an inky black, and rose petal-tipped deer antlers atop their head. Maud is easily distracted, but fascinated by a lot of things. Maud's parents, of course, being the wailing Agrippina, who is a bit of a prophet, an oracle of sorts, and the wandering Hector, who wanders, who strives for experience. And both of those translate and compete in Maud, in that they're constantly looking for new experiences, but very quick to maybe not get bored, but come to enough understanding that their desire for more, their desire to learn, is overtaken by whatever else is most around. So Maud oscillates wildly between moments of intense scrutiny and activity and moments of dazed contemplation. So Maud is probably zipping about from one tree branch to another, perhaps investigating a squirrel one moment, sees Brackish chasing a butterfly, and then stops very abruptly, maybe hangs down from one of the branches and just sways there.
Yeah. That is our Maud. And we love all of these children. Now, I don't know how old you are, any of you, but dragons take a long time to learn new shapes and to grow. So perhaps you might be aware that these trees have been here for a long time, but not long by the standards of trees. They've been around for, oh goodness, maybe 10 seasons? But despite lots and lots of attention from the people in the nearby settlement, this is the first time that you've seen the people from the nearby settlement this much. Someone comes every day. There's a big human who has been investigating the stone at the center of the grove very intently. There have been lots of littler humans who have been kind of running around the place. Every so often, a gaggle of them will come and look at these little trees. Very excited. And soon you see, busting into the clearing, the large human, the one who's always looking at the big stone in the middle. And they have brought with them an armload of wood. This is the thing about humans. They love turning things into other things. They seem to have found some wood, and they're turning it into... question mark. Unsure. Meanwhile, a big old dog zips around, mostly running from tree to tree, sniffing at them, investigating them like all the humans seem to do. And I think, rather unlike this big human, the dog does notice the three of you, one at a time. First Maud, who I don't think is particularly inconspicuous at the moment, and then a falling brackish, who tumbles near the ambitious but still shapeless blob that is Carpinchi. And the dog stops, looks back at the person who accompanied them into the clearing, realizes that the person is busy doing wood things, and goes back to regarding the three of you. Excited, and I'm not going to say completely vacant, but you know, that face dogs make when they're excited, but they don't really have too many other thoughts.
I will point out, first we've had our first donation. Thank you, Pemily, or P. Emily, however that is pronounced, for helping
Thank
us out.
you.
That was $25. So going forward, Kat, they have helped. They have chosen to help the party. So I'll leave that up to your discretion how you'd like to dole that out.
Okie dokie, I will keep that in mind.
But Maud, yes, Maud is going to continue swinging from this branch, and seeing this dog is simply going to let go and remember just in the nick of time that they probably should fly in some sense before hitting the ground. So they kind of glide, scrape against the ground a little bit, and then just flop and slither up in their snake-like form and look at the dog and swing back and look at one of the other two. And swing back and look at the look at Brackish, look at Carpinchi. That's a dog. It goes bork, bork, bork.
Yeah, I think the dog has a strangely pensive expression on their face. And they do say, because I've decided that animals can communicate with dragons.
Of course.
It's only fair.
I suppose that's right. I do say bork sometimes. Bork to you.
Yes.
And bork to you, and bork to you as well.
At that point, Badger, sorry, so used to calling myself Badger in other games, Brackish would probably go bork, 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 and come like running towards the dog.
And I mean, this is by the standards of dogs, and I don't know how many dogs you have all seen. This one is a little on the big side. Just one of those big, fluffy, good-natured dogs that you occasionally see hanging around with people. And the dog just kind of springs around a little side to side. Hello. It is a good day, isn't it? We are having fun. Are you having fun?
Are we having fun?
Arpinchi slowly begins to transform into a tree while shouting, "Bork, bork, bork,
Bork.
bork,
Bork.
bork."
I have never seen a
Bork.
tree say bork.
I've never seen a dog with bark.
And
Or have
I'm
I?
both.
I am going to go tell him. I will be
Uh.
right back. The dog dashes over to the large human and runs around in circles shouting. And the large human stops what he's doing, sets down the wood, gives the dog a good-natured ruffle on the head.
How
And goes
distracted
back
does
to-
this guy look?
Pretty distracted. His dog is going just completely bananas right now.
Can I have some of that wood?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for a roll,
Yeah.
actually, I think, to sneak the wood.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to say, thanks to the donation, that you do have meaningful help.
Okay.
The dog
From
is
the
the
dog.
dog is a distraction, and the audience has declared that you get help. So you get 1 die. Are you really trying to sneak the wood?
No. It's just there,
Okay.
and I want it.
Okay. Are you in a good shape for sneaking the wood? Or do you have a good shape for sneaking the wood?
I'm serpentine, so I can wrap around it real nice and kind of slink away. And I
Serpents are
assuming I
pretty
have some
sneaky.
control of flight, so should be able
Okay.
to get a good coil on it.
Do you have a perfect shape for this task?
No. No, I don't.
Okay. So we are rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
1 for the meaningful help and 1 for a good shape. And these are heroic chord success rules. So a 5 or a 6 is a success, and a 1 is an edge success.
Well, I have my favorite result, that being a 1 and edge success.
Yay! Let's see. If you keep the edge success, I think you are very much going to change the shape of not only what this person is doing, but of what a lot of people end up doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you grab a piece of wood. It is, unlike much wood that you can find just around, it has been cut into a shape. It is strangely rectangular and square, which is not something one normally sees in nature. Interesting. And the dog is, but listen, you have to understand, the tree said bork, and I've never seen a tree do that, not even once. You must come look, you simply must. And the man says, yes, I know. What a lovely day it is. We're having a great time. I have work to do, though. And the dog eventually remembers, oh, right. We have communication issues. That's fine. I'm going to go talk to the tree. And then dashes back to the tree excitedly. And the man turns and looks and watches his dog play with what appears to be a. What kind of tree shape does Carpinchi know how to be?
It is a suspiciously smooth with like the occasional roughness, but it's just cylindrical and shoots up. Vaguely birch-like shape.
Oh. I think, like, the man looks and then does a double take and approaches Carpinchi. Now, my question is, Maud and Maud is sneaking. Maud has a bit of a 2x4. So now we have a dragon with a 2x4, and that's very exciting. What is Brackish up to?
I think Brackish would be kind of just like following the dog. Just like waiting to see what the dog does, waiting to see what's going on with the dog, waiting to see if the dog ends up doing anything that Brackish can join in and help with or hinder with, depending on,
Yeah.
what's happening.
Mostly the dog was really, really excited about Carpinchi's new shape and was desperately trying to communicate that to his friend. And his friend is coming over. So the dog must have done something right.
Yeah.
And soon enough, there is a rather large human being standing here. And he crouches. I don't think he notices Brackish right away, but he crouches in front of Carpinchi. Says, how long has this been here? You don't look like a peach tree, do you? Hmm.
Arpinchi barks.
Hmm.
I
And
believe
the dog says, "See, I told you. The
I'd
tree
like
is
to
forked."
I'd like to give Donna a spark for that because it's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
A barking tree.
And the dog is just having a great time, just bouncing around, wagging its enormous tail, just thrilled. "See, I told you. The tree is barking. This is exciting. I have never once seen a tree do this."
Okay, at this point, I think Brackish might actually be hunting the wagging tail, like preparing to attempt a pounce of some sort.
Yeah. Good.
I don't know if you know much about skates, but they are mischievous little sea creatures, so
Yeah. They're also cute.
they are. That's also true.
It's a science fact. So the man just like jumps. It's like that because he knows what sound his dog friend makes. And I think it takes him a little moment to realize that the tree in front of him is what has made the sound and not his dog friend. And he turns to look at his dog, at which point he sees a skate like creature. Just like, hey, what are you doing?
Upon being noticed, Brackish abandons the hunting plan of the tail and tries to scurry under the dog to hide.
And the dog says, "I have met friends. I think. It is a good day. We are having fun." And again, the man doesn't. The man says, I think I understand why you were barking at me." And crouches to peer underneath the dog. What on earth? And then looks up at the tree that isn't supposed to be there. What on earth? I He just kind of sits down in the grass and furrows his brow, chews a little bit on his lip, and his dog runs up and just like sprawls over his leg, wagging its tail and shouting excitedly, "Look at the friends I've made. We're having fun." Oh, and the dog kind of like tries to, I think, sits behind Brackish. "You do not need to be frightened of him. He has lots of food and is very good at throwing things."
Excellent qualities in a human.
Yes. "Do we have any food? Did we bring any food? Did we? And again, they have communication issues. It's not their fault." And the human absent-mindedly ruffles the dog's head again. Why do I feel like something strange is happening in the grove today?
So while this guy is distracted by talking to his dog who is behind Brackish, I'm going to take my piece of wood and go up to the barking tree, and try to plant this 2x4 to see if I can make a 2x4 tree.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. So I think the first thing he sees is just like a 2x4 rising out of the grass. And if he looks closer, he sees a little like white and black tail wrapped around it, trying to just mash it into the earth.
Oh, it's real awkward because I don't have any claws or anything. I just have my tail wrapped around and I'm just kind of like pushing it into the ground.
I, I, uh, this is making my job a little complicated.
What's your job? Carpinchi asks.
Oh. And again, he just kind of like reels back a little bit and looks at his dog, who just looks at him vacantly and excitedly and wags their tail more. Well, I was hoping to get a little shrine built before the festival.
What is a shrine and what's a festival?
The dog answers the second question. A festival has food. It has many loud noises, but if you are brave, and if you are tough, and if you endure the loud noises, there is so much food for the taking. And for the getting as presents, but for the taking. Do not tell him, but for the taking.
Your secret is safe with me.
Thank you.
Secrets.
And the man kind of sighs. A shrine is a place where people offer their appreciation for something or someone. And a festival is when people come together to celebrate something with food and entertainment and togetherness. What are Can all of you talk?
Maybe.
Okay.
Are we not supposed to?
Well, I don't know. That's my second question. You are?
Yes.
As soon as he says you are, Brackish leaps forward from, being with the dog and just says, Brackish, I am Brackish.
Nice to meet you, Brackish.
Wagging his tail like the dog does, but because it's not like a dog's tail, it just kind of whips around a little bit.
A hazard.
Yes.
The dog thinks it's great. The dog is leaping around and having a wonderful, delightful time. Brackish is a danger.
Yes.
I love. What a good baby. Uh, and what, pray tell, might you all be?
I'm I'm a tree.
I see.
I think
Ah.
that we might change that as the days go by. We'll see.
Okay.
Am I not a tree?
No, I completely take your word for it. You would know better
Ugh.
than I would what you are. Right?
Well then, yeah. I mean, what are you?
I'm a builder.
And I'm a tree.
Hmm. Speaking of building, and he kind of looks down at Maud. Do you need a hand with that?
And do you have a hand?
I have two.
Can I have one?
I am using them, but I can use them to help you with this.
Oh. Why is this tree so sharp?
Because in order to build with it, we like the edges to be neat, so they fit together nicely with other pieces.
Oh. Fitting together is good.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take this 2x4 and go up to Carpinchi and just start like whacking her with it.
Every whack, Carpinchi barks.
Still confess that I do not know what exactly I am looking at or encountering.
What are we building?
Yeah,
We're building a shrine.
Bork. Yeah, Bork.
Okay.
Bork Shrine.
Pork
Well,
shrine.
For all
I
the
think-
Brackish,
orcs.
Brackish is going to go investigate the other pieces of wood because he said that they fit together, and he's going to try and do that.
Yeah, you can stack them nicely and there's no gaps. They just stack up nice and neat and tidy. It's a little weird, to be honest. Not a lot of things in nature do that. How much do you know about bees?
I feel like Brackish would know that they are pointy if you chase them enough.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think you've seen anything quite like it. Anyone who knows anything about bees, of course, will know that bees are capable of making things fit together. But that's only if you know a great deal about them and you've been respectful enough to be invited into their home. Which I can't imagine Brackish has.
No, not yet.
Carpinchi,
And the
you
dog-
need to be flatter to fit together.
But this is what a tree is. Bork.
But it doesn't
Well-
fit. You don't fit.
Bork.
You don't fit. You don't fit.
Bork. That's not a me problem. That's a them problem.
Brackish
Bork.
declares you need the same type of tree and brings over another one.
I'm going to put my wood on top of that wood.
Yeah, they fit, like they stack nice and neat. No gaps, just a stack. It's kind of appealing.
Are we done now?
I become. I don't like it. It's not like. It's like. It looks like it would hurt.
Did it hurt when you were hit by it?
Yeah.
Okay, that answers that.
Do
Well, what happens to the tree to get it that shape? Is it just born that way?
It is not born that way, no. Sometimes humans, how can I say this? Borrow trees
Mm-hmm.
because in order to use them for our homes, we need the wood that makes up a tree. So we do cut the tree down.
Oh.
Do the three of you come here often?
Where?
This grove?
Do we?
I mean, what's often? Often enough, I guess. I
How
mean,
much is enough?
I honestly don't have an answer. I do not have an answer. Dog says, we come here sometimes.
We see you here sometimes.
Sometimes.
sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then kind of lays a hand on the dog's nose as if to acknowledge that the dog is yelling, but not really answer the yelling of any kind. Now, I'm afraid I don't know much about what's happening here. I don't know much about a lot of things, I'm going to be honest with you.
That probably makes 5 of us total.
Mm.
There are a
I don't
lot
know
of things.
anything about anything.
There are a lot of things. You're absolutely right, little friend.
Am I a little friend?
Well, little is comparative, I guess. You're littler than me.
Oh.
And the
Are you a
dog.
friend?
Can I turn into a deer now?
You can. You can at any
That's-
time choose between any of the shapes you have. Oh.
Am
Oh,
I
I
still
believe
a
I
little
understand.
friend?
No, now you are a large friend. Now I think I do understand, though. Now that I have seen this happen, I'm beginning to suspect that you mightn't be dragons?
Where?
Is that? No, I guess not. You seem perplexed by it.
What's a dragon?
It's a perplexed.
Confused.
That's what a dragon is? What's
No.
perplexed?
In
That's
my
what
experience, yes.
Mm.
a dragon is a divine creature, a child of
Mm-mm.
the gods who is
Mm-mm.
capable of changing their form and living at one with nature. And
I mean, that can apply to a lot of things, right? Everything
playing
changes.
tricks on people.
Do we play a trick? Are we playing tricks right now?
That's just what the storybooks say. I don't know much more than what is in the storybooks, I'm afraid.
What kind of tricks?
Hmm. Well, I did read a book when I was quite young about a dragon who took the form of a horse and lured someone into the woods. And they never came back.
It's
That
nice in the
sounds
woods.
fake.
Probably.
Now,
Does it?
Mm.
It is nice in the woods. You're not wrong.
I go up to this guy and just like, I don't want to fight him, but I want to like grab his shirt.
Yeah.
And I just want to start
Yeah.
pulling back into the grove.
Oh, where are we headed?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
It is nice there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he pushes himself back up to his feet and goes along with this deer pulling.
so Brackish is gonna like trot along at his feet, probably on the opposite side of him from his dog, and it just says, "So, if dragons lead you into the woods, never to be seen again, why are you so calm about us dragging you into the woods, never to be seen again?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, people tell me I'm too calm about a lot of things.
Mm.
I think it's just how I am. Also, I know these woods pretty well, so it depends how far we go into them.
I would like to
Yeah,
find my favorite rose bush.
yeah. Yeah. How far from the grove is Maud's favorite rose bush?
Probably just far enough that it's starting to get concerning.
Okay, yeah. And the dog is like, woods, 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 going in the forest, looking at the trees. Woods, woods, I love woods. Look at all the birds. Hey, hey, bird!
I stop.
Hey, bird! Get out and find me! The bird does not come down and fight the dog. No matter how much the dog urges it to. The man says, now hush you. Come now. That's no way to act.
You need to find a blue jay. A blue jay will absolutely fight a dog and lose.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things a blue jay will fight and lose. They're good
Anything
bird.
that's close to its nest.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good bird. I love them. Big fan. And we make it to the rose bush, and you can see that this builder is looking side to side and kind of swallows hard a couple times. Well, What a lovely walk this has been. This is absolutely true. Emily, if birds weren't jerks, this bird would be answering the dog's challenge. They have no honor.
Only polite.
It's the problem with birds is they have no honor. And the dog is like, fight me! I'll fight any of you! My forest now!
Oh, is this your forest?
I think so. No one has fought me yet.
Oh.
At that,
Can I
think
charge the dog?
Rakish tackled the
Yeah.
dog.
The three of us just collide and start tumbling.
I think like the dog very much interprets this as a game.
Yeah.
Like leaps up with onto their back legs to like play nip at the two of you, and clearly never actually like intending to do any harm. But the man is like, whoa, hey, leave. He's loud, but he's a good boy.
Arpinchi, as a capybara, raises a fist and strikes the dog.
Hey.
What? This is our forest. It's not anyone's forest. It's ours.
We only have an hour in the forest.
That is a short amount of time. But it's ours.
I just wanted to play with the dog. I'm not. Why are we punching?
I see. I see what he's done. He's being impolite. Please allow me to apologize on his behalf.
Which half?
B, the B half.
Oh, I mean, let me apologize for him.
Why? He should apologize.
And the dog like wilts a little bit and is like, I'm sorry. It's not my forest. But I still want to fight a bird. I bet I could fight a bird.
You could go on me, and then I can be a tree, and then you can be up in the sky, and then you can fight a bird.
Okay, I like this plan. Get me into
Me
sky.
Me
Fight them in
too.
their world. Fight them in their territory.
They're too afraid to come down, but it doesn't mean
Too
that we
afraid.
can't
They
go to them.
honor.
No honor.
Fight a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's fight a bird.
Yeah.
And the
Let's
human is
fight
like,
a bird.
don't know what he's saying, but I'm really concerned.
We became friends again.
I'm glad to hear it.
They bonded over the promise of violence.
Less glad to hear that. But
No,
he's
it's just there's things in the sky. They're not coming down, so we should go to them.
For the violence.
he's reckless and he's very loud, but he's my dearest friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good.
Where do we get more wreck? More wreck.
I wish I knew. So I could give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I walk away.
Bye.
Arpinchi kind of gestures to their back and is like, hey, hop on.
Yeah, the dog absolutely, like, I guess, like, stands over Carpinchi. This is like a big old golden retriever of a dog.
Yeah. There's no way. And Carpenchy's like, all right,
Okay.
here we
all right,
go.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Wee.
Carpinchy turns into a tree and absolutely skyrockets the dog into the air.
And the dog's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And the man is like, what is happening? What is going on? And the dog is just like, hey birds, check it out. You're not safe
We're
from
going
me
to
up
fight.
here.
We're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight.
Carpinchy's the worst. I love them very much.
I suspect that Carpinchy has overestimated a tree's ability to commit acts of great violence.
Yeah.
Carpinchy is up in the Carpinchy's on the ground and up in the air,
Yeah.
and is just like, let's go, get the birds, get the birds, get the birds.
I am starting, the man says, to understand what's happening. Okay. I'm beginning to understand. And meanwhile, the dog is like, come here, bird. Yeah. Not your sky anymore, is it? Fight me. Ah. And just starts like snapping at the air. The birds are all shrieking, just like, what the hell? What's it doing up here? No, bad. Get on the ground. You belong on the ground. And the birds start flapping at the dog, who is excitedly snapping and trying to catch them. You belong down there. Get out. I think the birds of the forest maybe know the three of you. So there's a big old crow that's like, Carpinchy, come on.
Hey, you can't come here. It's not gonna. I'm trying to make everybody happy.
We're not happy.
Why happy? You guys love seeing me.
Here.
Yeah, because the dog wants to. Oh,
It's perfect and flawless.
the dog is here. Oh yeah. Could you guys come here and then we could talk it out?
Negotiate with a dog.
Yeah. And then everyone can be happy and then there won't be a dog in the sky anymore.
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go get Shaggy. And the crow's like, Shaggy! And the crows are like, Shaggy! And like every crow in the sky is shouting for Shaggy. And eventually an enormous, true to its name, shaggy feathered raven flaps over from a nearby tree and sits in your boughs. I
Hey,
have
Shaggy.
arrived. Hello,
Yeah.
Carpinchy.
Shaggy, it's always good to see you.
The crows have called me here. Why is a dog in the sky?
That's a really good question. However, I've got a better one. What if
What if?
uh the dog
The dog
could
could Carpinchy.
fight some people? I mean, some crows?
I will permit this. Yes. Yes, I will permit this.
Bork, 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 bork.
And the
Bork,
dog
bork,
also starts
bork.
shouting, bork, bork, bork. And meanwhile, the human just kind of sits on the ground and starts cradling his temples and looking up at the dog, who's having just the time of his life up in the sky, yelling at Shaggy and the crows.
I think at this point, Brackish is going to go and start trying to collect fallen branches that still have leaves on them and put them under where the dog is. Because he knows that leaves make for good piles, but doesn't understand that they can't be attached to branches anymore.
Oh. I see.
And he knows that that dog is going to get knocked out of a tree by some birds. Because that's how dogs and trees work.
It's a wonder a dog is even in a tree, to be honest.
Yep.
I think, like, following your lead, the man, like, stands under the dog and is just, like, watching, ready to try and catch his enormous friend. Meanwhile,
It's a
Shaggy's
good
like,
idea.
if we go to the ground, we will fight on the ground.
What?
We are valiant warriors. We can fight on the ground. And Shaggy, like, puffs out his chest feathers.
That's not true. The whole
He was a
reason.
great dishonor right now.
Carpinchi
No.
has never met a rooster or a goose.
And the dog is like, "Ah, burn honor!"
Carpage's like, but like I wouldn't. The dog is here because the birds wouldn't come down. You see what I mean, Shaggy? It's not. I'm not besmirching your name. I'm besmirching others that are not you because I don't want to fight you.
I think you hear the man shouting, can you come down now? This is very stressful for me. And you hear the dog go, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them. The birds. And some crows fly by and do a little peck at the dog, and he definitely cannot catch them. He tries a couple times and he cannot catch them. And eventually Shaggy hops onto the nearest branch and reaches out with a huge wing to just give the dog a tap on the head. Just there. We have emerged victorious from the sky battle with dog.
Carpinchi looks at Shaggy and looks. Well, you can't really tell if they're a tree.
The dog makes a little after being patted.
Carpinchi is like, that was it? That was quicker than I thought.
We are decisive.
Carpinchi says, okay, don't know how to do this because if I change, the dog will fall.
I will actually ask you for a roll. I think. Because to change shape is easy to do. You can all change shape. But to change shape in a particular way, at a particular speed, well, that takes a little more cunning. So here's my questions for Carpinchi. Are you really trying to let the dog down safely?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a good shape for letting the dog down?
No.
So you don't have the perfect shape either.
Nope.
I'm going to say you have meaningful help because the human is down there waiting to catch the dog.
And shout out to Brackish for putting the human there.
Brackish is definitely still moving stuff.
Yes.
Whether that stuff is useful, debatable, but he's trying.
Brackish is doing his gosh darn best. Can I get 2 dice? Roll it, please.
Got an edge success.
Okay.
Just one.
If you keep the edge success, I think the human's gonna get injured.
I mean,
The alternative being the dog lands where?
well, it's not a success. So,
Well, if you keep the edge success, the dog's gonna be perfectly fine and safe and happy. but he is going to land hard on his best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the edge success.
So as Carpinchi shrinks down abruptly out of the sky, the dog is suddenly airborne. And Shaggy takes off in a flurry of black feathers. And the dog is like, "Come back, bird, I'll fly you!" And begins to descend. The person is quick. The human is quick. He dashes underneath, reaches out, and catches a dog that is probably like 2/3 his size,
Oh no.
and hits the forest floor under the weight. And groans. And the dog says, "I was flying for a moment. Are we hugging now? I love you too."
Walt's gonna
And-
slither out from wherever they were. No, I think they have plenty of wreck. The
I
wreck
think
was
I just
here all
learned how to
along.
create more wreck.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe the wreck
You
was
throw
here all
dogs.
along.
Dogs? I didn't throw. I shrank.
I don't think
You
the
okay,
dog's
buddy?
any smaller.
No, I did. Not the dog. The dog is. Can the
I'm
dog
still this
change shape?
size.
I think possibly the distinction here is more drop than shrank.
The dog. No, you were flying.
Yeah.
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 And
No. No, dogs don't fly.
Brackish wanders over and like flaps at the dog in Carpinchi and says, "I have wings and I can't fly," and like hits them with the flippers. So there's no way the dog was flying. The dog was falling. I have a lot of experience with falling.
and the human groans and says, "Yeah. Yeah. That was falling, buddy. That was falling."
Also, we got another $25 donation. Thank you.
Yay!
To be.
Frisbee. Thank you.
So we have
Very
more help
cool.
for whoever needs it next.
And Shaggy comes down to the forest floor and lands in the debris pile that has been lovingly built by Brackish, and says,
You're welcome.
"Hello, Brackish. Hello, Maud.
Hello, Carpinchi.
Hello, Carpinchi.
Thank you.
Maud, the people are acting weird today.
Which people?
The people in the little people village.
Oh,
We may have kidnapped one. That one.
that's not a kid.
He's not taking a nap.
No, that's a full-grown human, if ever I have seen one.
Is
He's
it nap
almost
time?
taking a nap under the dog.
I could take a nap.
You could. Good night, Maud," says Shaggy.
Shaggy. How are they acting?
"Well, I know a lot about people, you know."
You are incredibly intelligent.
"Indeed,
Mm-hmm.
you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I have collected many shiny things from them. I have successfully stolen many a trinket from the human village.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They are gathering more trinkets than normal. They are hanging the trinkets on their little burrows. What's more, sometimes they come to the grove and they put trinkets or food at the rock for me to take."
I know this one. We learned this one earlier. The rock is a shrine, presumably to you,
To me?
No, to Shaggy. Shaggy takes the trinkets, so the shrine is to Shaggy. And the festival is a celebration, possibly also to Shaggy.
For you.
Yes, this is good. This is right. This
Because
is
that-
just.
Brackish feels very, very proud of himself for tying together the Shaggy Festival Shrine connection.
Shaggy lets out a long, deep croak in the way that ravens do and ruffles his black feathers. Yes.
I think that was really cute, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a spark.
That was extremely adorable. I'm the GM, but Maud's extended nap is also adorable.
Yes, I think okay. I'm going to give Maud and Brackish a spark each.
Yeah. Do it.
Heart tomato.
Right.
Our tomatoes for everybody. Yes. Then I shall attend the festival with my retinue.
According to the dog, you get food for attending the festival. And also, you can take food for attending the festival.
Mm-hmm.
There's apparently a distinction.
And the man looks around the dog at Brackish and looks at his dog. Have you been sneaking food at the festival, buddy? Hey.
No, that was the secret.
You told the secret.
You told the
You
secret.
told the secret.
I may have told the secret.
No,
To
it's
be
okay.
fair,
Don't take-
I told the secret to Shaggy, not the human. The human was eavesdropping.
Oh.
Oh, the human's in the wrong. The human's in the wrong.
You can't know the secret.
No,
Well, he sneaks food all the time.
no,
If I turn my back on him, he's stealing something.
no.
He says, no, I hardly ever steal, aside from all the time. But other than that, I don't. I don't do it.
Yeah,
I'm a good boy.
yeah,
Did you know that I am a good boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
good boy.
yeah.
I'm
You
a good boy and I
flew.
love my friend. And he just like licks the person's face while the human is groaning and lying on the forest floor. All right. My retinue and I will attend this festival in our honor and
Mhm,
acquire food and trinkets.
mhm.
Yes. And I think without further ado, Shaggy beats his enormous wings and starts flying toward the village. And a whole murder of crows follows suit. Shaggy is their undisputed leader because Shaggy is the biggest.
Mhm.
I think the crows are aware on some level that Shaggy is an entirely different bird. But they do seem to respect him a great deal nonetheless. Well, actually, it's the Green Peach Festival. The first ever. The first one.
Peaches aren't
It-
green.
And his name is Shaggy.
Oh. I gathered that, yeah.
No,
And the
but
man, like,
it's not the Green Peach Fest. It should be the Shaggy Festival.
we yeah, wherever Shaggy goes, a murder follows. This is true. He's a deeply ominous sight. He's No, we planted those trees 10 years ago when we first settled here. And now, finally, for the first time, they're going to bear fruit this year. You can see little green peaches that aren't ready to eat yet on the trees. So we're celebrating, including giving offerings to the grove to thank it for giving us food this summer.
From the tree bears.
Yeah, the tree
Um,
bears.
Well, Can't Shaggy be celebrated too?
I was wondering where the offerings had gone.
Shaggy's not a bear.
No.
Hmm.
I mean, it's an offering to the woods and the grove, so if a raven who lives here wants to take the offerings, I suppose it's right. As long as you don't do it, buddy. The dog is like, I would not. I would. But I am a good boy, right? Yes? I love you. We are hugging. You are my best friend. I fought the birds. The dog is like wagging its tail aggressively while the man lies on the ground and groans.
Brackish is hunting the tail again, just like preparing for a pounce.
I should get back to work. I was supposed to have this built for the festival.
We can help you.
But you don't fit.
That's not a me problem. That's a them problem.
So we need more you.
No, I have enough wood. I just needed a little time.
Oh, there's lots of time.
Yeah.
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 And he goes to sit up and just like, ah! And says some more words. Horrible ones, dreadful ones, that you have never heard before. And the dog says, Bork! Oh, you are hurting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, you are hurt. Uh-oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? He's hurt. What do I do? You are my best friend and I love you very much. And the dog kind of like, you know that thing dogs do where they put their paws on your shoulders? He just starts doing that. You are my best friend and I love you very much. Do not be hurt anymore.
When did he get hurt?
I do not know how he got hurt.
Me neither.
It is a mystery.
Well, can't he just build the shrine now?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. And the dog kind of hops off. And the man shoves himself to a standing position and experimentally takes a step. And his leg kind of buckles. And he corrects himself and manages to limp a couple steps. All right. Okay. I can do this.
You're not walking right.
No. No, I'm afraid I'm not.
Oh, well, if it's scary, then don't do it. That's what I do.
Well,
I feel like I have to give Maud a spark for that one.
yeah. Mod. Well, sometimes you do things even though they're scary or painful or difficult because they're important to you for other reasons.
I don't think that's right.
No? There aren't things that are important to you?
Are there? Like that wood, that strange sharp wood.
Very sharp.
And I start, like, squiggling back towards the strange sharp wood. It's very important right now.
Okay, all right.
What's important to you? Why are you pushing yourself when it's scary?
Well, my family is important to me, and they're back in the village. So I do have to go there so I can see them. And let them know not to worry. They will probably be worried.
Well, we can just take you back to the village. That's easy.
Oh, okay. And the festival is important to me too.
Why?
You may have noticed this, but these last couple seasons, the weather has been difficult. Not a lot of things have been growing. So there are a lot of people who are hungry. But the peach grove is going to have fruit for the first time this year. And we need to be grateful to it. We're
Huh.
excited to have peaches.
I think I get it. Not really, but I think I do. And I think that's the most thing that, the only thing that matters is I think I get it.
Good. I'm glad you think you get it. And the dog says, "Do we get things? Are we understanding? Is it time to understand?"
Yes.
I'm good at that.
Me not, but yes.
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 No.
No?
But don't worry. We can solve one problem right now. And Carpinchi turns into a capybara. It's like, you can
Hello.
get on my back and I'll carry you.
How big a capybara is Pinchy?
Tiny.
Carpinchi.
This is not logical.
Yeah, I think the man is like, I appreciate the gesture. It's very sweet. But I'm not sure you could carry me.
Brackish is going to go back to the pile that he put under what once was the Carpinchi tree, and just try and find a stick that could be used as a walking stick.
Yeah. I think that's a rule thing. I think that's a rule thing for sure.
Yeah.
Is Brackish really looking for a good walking stick?
Yes,
Real hard?
absolutely. Like this man was injured by Brackish's friends because Brackish and his friends took this man into the woods. Brackish feels a little guilty about this. Um, although Brackish does feel the need to note that if the man had just left him to his pile building,
Yeah.
the
The man
dog
had more faith.
probably would have been fine.
He would have been fine, yeah, if he had more faith in Brackish.
But
yeah.
the pile can still be useful. So
The pile
Brackish is really looking for a good stick.
Okay. Does Brackish have a good shape for stick finding?
Well, he's got a turtle and a skate and a dragon, and I will note that all of those have eyes, but none of them are particularly prone to sticks. So that's kind of a toss-up.
I'm gonna say yes, but not perfect.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say that like the turtle is like close to the ground and in kind of a good position to look for good stick.
Yeah,
The dragon could be as well.
okay.
Kind of a good position to look
The
for good
skate
stick.
just kind of flops around and is not so useful.
The
So
dragon could be as well. So are
okay.
Carpinchi or Maud meaningfully
The skate
helping
just kind of
Brackish
flops
find a
around
good
and is
stick?
not so useful.
The
So
dragon could be as well.
No.
This is listener, I played the creeping tangle. I played heroic chord with Donna. This doesn't surprise me one bit. Donna just being like, I don't help, get bet is very
Donna is dead set on Carpinchi being a noble steed. So
Listen, I looked it up. Carpinchi is 2 feet tall, okay? Like,
yeah.
it's doable.
Carpinchi. We love Carpinchi.
it's doable if the man was in fact a toddler.
Well, details.
Is Maud helping?
No.
Okay. So I would like 2 dice from Brackish, please.
Okay. Just a second. It's a 5 and a 1.
No, a five will do the trick. That's a success.
Yep.
You
Okay.
find a big old stick that is about the right size for a person to support their weight on.
I bring it back.
Thank you. And he kind of tests his weight on it, and it does seem to make walking a little bit easier on him. Thank you for your help.
I knew that pile would be useful for something.
Yes, you did. Excellent. The dog is like, stick? Is it stick time? I loved stick time.
None of those wood are sharp enough to make things.
No, but did you know that you can shake a stick around a lot? You can
Did
go
I?
like "Arr!" with a stick. It's fun.
I'm gonna
That
go
wood
grab the
doesn't.
guy's stick.
That wood doesn't need to make things. It's already a thing. And Brackish is gonna bat at Maud with the skate flaps as Maud is taking the stick.
I guess I don't know.
It's already a thing. It's a thing that he can walk with. It doesn't need to be more useful than it already is.
But it's supposed to waggle, isn't it?
He can waggle it if he wants to, but for right now, he wants to walk.
Mm.
If you want, I could go get you a different stick to waggle.
No. No, I don't get it.
Maybe if the dog demonstrates.
I can demonstrate. I can do it. And the dog runs back to the pile, noses around in the pile for a while, grabs a stick, like a proper dog-sized stick, and just like goes completely ham with it, just waving it back and forth, growling at it, trying to get a paw on it, just having a wonderful, grand old time. Like this! You kick its ass!
That looks dizzying.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
No, I'm dizzy enough.
Okay. And the dog goes back to running in circles with the stick, is clearly having a delightful time. And the man just kind of politely starts limping on the way back to the village. And in short order, or long order, because we are a concerning distance away from the grove, we arrive back at the grove, where there is an unfinished shrine, not yet built, around the stone at the center of the grove. And all
To
the
be fair,
trees.
Brackish stacked that wood.
This is true. There are some pieces of wood stacked.
That's almost a shrine.
Which were snowy white with blossoms just a couple weeks ago, are now black with feathers as the murder of crows has settled into the peach grove. And seated on the stone in the center of the peach grove is the imposing form of Shaggy the Raven. Hello. Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, Shaggy. I have.
Hello.
Ooh, ooh. Um. Can I talk to you really quickly?
Of course, Carpinchi.
Like, down here. Away.
And Shaggy hops off the rock onto the ground. The rock is only about like a foot and a half tall.
So, remember how
Oh no.
I think Donna's frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
possible.
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
am I
back.
back?
Yes, you're back.
Yep, you're back.
Yeah.
That was
Remember
that was
how.
one hell of a face to freeze on.
It was good, yeah. It was a straight up just like Lord of the Rings still.
Nice.
It was good.
Well, it might not be.
What?
What?
We missed a considerable amount. If you kept talking while you were frozen, we didn't hear any of
Yeah,
it.
you cut out after remember how. Well,
Remember how?
Yeah.
Remember how Brackish said the festival was for you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So Brackish, I wouldn't say like didn't tell the truth, but
He didn't tell the truth.
No, that would make Brackish a liar, and Brackish isn't a liar.
Does it?
Sometimes I'm a liar.
You're
This
a liar.
time, though, I need more information. Shaggy, are you responsible for the peaches growing?
Oh, that's a good.
No.
Then I am a liar. I'm sorry.
No, you're not a liar. No.
I can't make anything grow.
The actually, Shaggy, have you like eaten stuff that grows?
Yeah. Berries,
Okay.
leaves, bugs.
Most things grow.
I was about to say that wasn't a
Most
good
things that
question.
can be eaten grow.
Mm.
And many things that can't.
I'll eat whatever.
Also, for
Mm.
You know
Well,
this about me. I'll eat whatever.
um, this isn't a festival for you. It's a festival for something that grows, and you're done growing. So yay!
That's all
Yes.
you grow.
I've grown to be quite massive and impressive.
Mm-hmm. And you're
The
done.
largest and most impressive bird in the woods.
And you're done. Right?
Yes.
You're done growing.
All done.
So the festival isn't for you.
Don't understand.
Brackish, can you explain? And Carpinchi scurries away, ashamed.
it turns out the festival is for things that bring food to the people, not for things that take food from the people. So
Farm.
We could feed you to the people.
let's not do that. I like where your thinking
Try.
is, but what if instead we brought some berries to the people? And then, technically speaking, you've given them food, and I am no longer a liar.
But they want peaches.
Berries are almost peaches.
And what if we brought the peaches to them?
I think the peaches need to be edible first.
They need to grow more.
I feel like you can eat anything.
Have you tried to eat a peach that hasn't turned into a peach yet?
No, because then it wouldn't be a peach.
Exactly. And that's the
Mm.
problem here.
Okay, Brackish. You, for a liar, you sure are smart.
That's half of being a liar.
So what you
Oh.
are proposing then is that This is not a festival for admiration of me, Shaggy, the greatest bird in the forest.
Unless we eat you.
You
Oh,
can,
we
Unless
can't.
they
We can't.
eat you.
They
Not,
have
not
to eat it. No.
they can try.
But also,
Yes.
there's another option. There's another option.
But
I
that
look
would
at
be
the man who is presumably still here and hearing half of this conversation,
yes.
and I ask, have you all ever seen a bird bring you food?
No. Well,
Have you ever eaten a bird?
yes.
Whoa.
Please,
Oh.
I
please
think
don't eat
this solves our
Shaggy.
problem.
Please don't
Shaggy,
eat
run.
Shaggy.
Shaggy, fly. Not run.
I'm not going to eat a raven. I don't.
Shaggy. They're
I
gonna
mean,
eat
listen. We had a rough winter where I would have eaten a raven, but
you.
hunger does things. But I'm not hungry.
Then you
And
don't need
Shaggy's
any
like, I see.
peaches.
Would you consider
Wood. Where'd that wood go?
adding Shaggy to your festival if Shaggy and the rest of the crows brought food to the people?
I mean, this feels weird answering on behalf of everyone, but I don't. Yes, we would be grateful for the help. And certainly we would be very respectful of the raven and the crows if they were to help us.
So I look at Shaggy and I say, see, if you and the crows bring them berries, then the festival can still be about you, and I won't have to be a liar.
We must earn their adoration
Well,
with
Yes.
berries. I do deserve adoration without berries, as the biggest and most wonderful bird in the forest. And the crows are like, yeah, best bird, best bird.
Crows know that because they're crows. People don't know about bird hierarchy. They have to be taught. And if you show them how great you are, they might learn.
Demonstrate magnanimity.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
So humans are dumb, so they don't know how magnanimity you are. So once you demonstrate it, you'll be perfect.
Like I have to give a spark for that one too.
I see. Everyone, we gather food for the party. And Shaggy flaps his enormous wings and takes off, and the crows all follow. And the air is loud with wing beats, and the sky is dark with black feathers. The human is just like, what is. All right. I mean, good, I think.
Package looks at the human and says, you might need to put a crow on your shrine.
I can do that. And he sits down next to the rock and picks up a big kind of a chunk of wood that is not squared off, but is just kind of a piece of wood like you would find. And rummages in the tools that he left behind at the rock until he finds a carving knife. And slowly gets to work turning it into a crow. Oh, before I forget, it would be, I think, very rude of me not to invite you all to the festival.
I mean, would it be rude? I think rudeness is subjective.
You're right. I would not be living up to my own standards of manners if I did not. How about that?
But then you should.
I should and I will. Would you all like to attend the festival?
I
Do we?
take no responsibility for the manners of Maud or Carpinchi. But yes,
Manners.
What? Well,
Me
in
neither.
that case, I take full responsibility for the actions of Brackish and Maud. And I will also attend.
I am going to chase so many things.
And I will assume full responsibility.
There will be a great many things to see, Maud.
I like seeing things. Can I have that wood shaper?
The knife?
The wood shaper. It shapes wood.
Be careful with it. It's quite sharp. And he hands it over to Maud.
Wrap around it with my serpent
Oh,
tail.
Baby, no. Baby can't. Baby can't knife. No, don't give a knife to Maud. Maud is baby. The dog is like, oh, it is knife time. I'm not allowed to play with that. It's forbidden.
And go over to my sharp, strange wood and just start poking at it.
It
Like,
takes
really,
practice.
really ineffectually just like slapping at the thing. Because I'm a
some
baby
pieces-
snake with a knife.
Some pieces of wood do come off it.
I am a wood shaper now.
Mm.
I can make
Maud
you
the
fit.
Wood Shaper. Now, there's a title.
Maybe not Carpinchi though.
No, she's not wood. They're not wood.
I can be.
Yes.
Oh, but yes, you can make them fit. It will take a little practice.
Are you going to poke me with that?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
Because I thought
probably
you said you wanted me to fit. And I can't fit the way I am now.
But
no.
as you pointed out, that's a them problem, not a you problem.
Indeed.
And Maud now has the tool needed to solve the them problem.
Yes.
Brackish, you really are the smartest one I know.
If you make enough mistakes, you eventually learn something. Like bees are pointy.
Bees. The dog just runs. Bees. Did you know that you are not supposed to eat them?
Yes.
No.
They are not for eating.
They are pointy.
Do not eat them. They are pointy.
Don't eat pointy things.
Don't eat pointy things. Don't eat bees. Don't eat bees. Don't eat bees. And the dog just kind of sits down and starts wagging his tail. Just, don't eat bees. Don't eat bees.
I'm gonna
Send
really
them in.
awkwardly wrap around, like still with my knife. I'm gonna wrap around my piece of wood, and laden down by all of this stuff, really like slowly and awkwardly float in my serpent dragon form over to this capybara, lay the wood down on top, and just start trying to like shave pieces off until it fits the curve of their back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that
Hey.
Carpinchi is not being very helpful with this.
No.
You know, I
Carpinchi
feel like
is very happy.
making things fit seems to be very important to Maud, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maud, are you really trying?
Oh, I'm really trying. This
You are
is
not
the
in a good
only
shape
thing
for this.
important to me right now.
You're not in a good shape for this. You are
No.
not in a perfect shape for this. Is Carpinchi offering meaningful help? No. No. Please roll me a single die, please.
Okay. I will point out, though I don't know how it would help me, and I'm not asking for it, but just as a reminder, we do have that that help the party donation from
Oh yeah, we do.
Swoody. I apologize,
Oh, we do.
but I will
then
happily roll
that
my
counts
one
as
die because
meaningful
it
help.
doesn't make any sense.
No, that's meaningful help. We've got meaningful help from somewhere outside of us.
Maybe the dog like braces the wood with his paws or something.
Oh yeah, that.
Or the
that's something
human
that
takes
strikes
pity on you and does that.
Okay.
The human whose name we never asked because we are good people.
Dog whose name we've never asked since we are good.
The dog's name is Bork.
Oh, that's true. Bork.
Yeah.
The dog announced themselves.
Well, I managed a 1, another edge success.
Okay. If you keep this edge success, no, don't knife Carpinchi. That would be rude.
Can I
That
offer a
would be
suggestion?
rude. Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
The knife breaks.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think if you keep the edge success, the knife is gonna break, but you will successly make a piece of wood that fits Carpinchi.
Yeah. I imagine I fall off
In
a few times and
Carpinchi's
Carpinchi's like, what are you
capybara
doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I have to like get back up and I'm just like tossing this wood on top and then whacking at it with this knife some.
And eventually, yeah. The knife breaks. I think a chunk comes out of the blade. Clearly something about the angle was wrong, at least to those of us who know what this is. But you have a piece of wood now that fits onto Carpinchi.
It fits
when
now.
Carpinchi is a capybara instead of wood.
But the curve is right that you can just put it on top of Carpinchi and it will stay there because it fits.
I fixed the them problem. Now you fit.
Maud, you fixed it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I am the wood shaper now. I make things fit.
Kinda heavy.
Aw.
That is the price
I
you
think-
must pay.
Okay.
The human just kind of nods and smiles, just like recognizing that Maud has accomplished something important. If not exactly understanding how or why. And I mean, our initial plan was to go for 2 hours, right?
I believe I had us down until 10 o'clock.
You had us down till 10? Okay, all right.
I'll leave that up to you, though.
10? What time is it now?
It's 9.
9.
No. Not
Yeah.
at Cat's house.
No, okay.
Not at Cat's house, it's not.
No,
Alright.
that's fine if you want to wrap us up.
Yeah, because
Yeah, you're running the show.
my I have a jaw injury that the consistent talking is aggravating. So I think I would like
Understandable.
it is sometime after Maud the Wood Shaper has made Carpinchi fit. And the sky is darkened again by the murder of crows. Oh, shit. and their valiant leader Shaggy the Raven, who descend with, I'm gonna be honest with you all, they got food, but they're crows. So maybe like 1 in 3 things that they bring the people are edible. They bring some mushrooms, which should be checked. They do bring some bugs,
Which should be checked.
which should be checked. They bring some berries also, which should be, I mean, listen, don't just take food from crows. They can't be trust. But they seem to be genuinely doing their best. And as the sun sets, people start flooding into the grove. They bring torches and they light little fires to see by. And one by one, they start hanging strings of flowers from the trees until the trees look like they're in full bloom again. And the people are wearing, well, you don't know what fancy clothes look like. Clothes themselves might be a foreign concept to you, depending on how much time you spend around humans. The little humans are running around and laughing. They've got treats of some kind in their hand. Probably some honey candy that's been saved for a special occasion, and this very much is. And Jeremiah Finch is hard at work carving a crow. He's had to make do with his chisel because he gave his knife to Maud. So it's slow going. And he is still injured. A smaller human rushes up to him and starts fussing. And an even smaller human than her runs up and also starts fussing until that one gets distracted by the dog. And soon the two are running in circles around the injured patriarch of the family, not quite understanding what has happened. And every so often, someone will notice you. How often that is up to you. After all, you are very clever creatures. And if you don't want to be seen, you certainly don't have to be. But the little people are close to the ground and very attuned to interesting things, which you certainly are. And it is not hard to convince one to share a treat with you, or to explain an aspect of their fancy clothing, or even, perhaps, to get one of those flower garlands for eating. They taste all right if you like to eat flowers. And if anybody comes near enough to ask him, Jeremiah will explain that these are his friends that he has met today. He will introduce you and use a lot of words like esteemed and honored guest.
Never tried
When
being a
they
steam
ask-
before. I don't know if I can do that.
When they ask how he was injured, he politely declines to explain. I think that's kind of where I need to call it. I'm in pain.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the crows have brought food for the people, and in exchange, the people are not offering food. They haven't got a ton of that. But they are offering trinkets. And the crows like that a great deal. And you've successfully helped the people with the Green Peach Festival. And
Did we?
befriended the people of Plains Ridge.
We
Kind
did
of.
it!
I feel like helped is possibly in a little bit of air quotes here, but I'm okay with that.
listen, if you hadn't helped in the end, it would absolutely have been completely overrun by crows.
It's true.
That's fair.
We did not make it worse.
We solved
not
the
make it
problem that we caused.
Yes.
You solved the problem that you caused.
And that actually is the theme of the whole game, it seems, because we also solved the dog problem that we caused and the wood won't fit problem that we
Yes.
caused.
Yeah. You caused and then solved a lot of problems. But that's not what the game is about. The game is about learning things. And I feel like you all learned a great deal. So, I don't know how many sparks you got from each other, but as GM, I'm going to give you all 5. Because that is how much it costs to learn a new shape. And so I would like to ask, before we go to memory time, because I must have it, I must have memory time or I'll die. What new shapes does everybody learn? You can take the form of anyone that you've interacted with.
I mean, Carpinchi's gonna choose a golden retriever.
Yeah. Yeah, Carpinchi learns how to be a golden retriever. Just a big, shaggy, enthusiastic, happy dog.
Yes.
Oh, the dog is so stoked to see this. There's so much bork to be had when Carpinchi
just-
takes this shape.
Borking all day long. They
Endless
will
bork.
not shut up.
I think Brackish may have learned from the dog's mistake and has decided that he wants real wings in addition to his sea wings.
You've interacted with crows and ravens.
That's true. I think Brackish is gonna go with a raven rather than a crow this time.
Yeah.
Like-
I think like Shaggy looks at you and gives a nod of approval, like, yes, this is a handsome shape you've chosen.
Now, he's not so good at making himself actually look like a raven because probably his feathers aren't going to be black.
A handsome but flawed shape.
Yes.
I see.
I think the feathers would probably be like grayish, not quite black.
What is Maud learning how to be?
So I think Maud can really connect to some of these tiny little humans running about and how they get into everything, and are very inquisitive and only kind of sort of get things before they move on. So I think Maud would like to try to be a tiny person.
Yeah.
I personally also suspect that Maud might have realized the use of thumbs.
That they also really want one of those pretty dresses.
Yeah.
So she's going to turn into a tiny human and take one of their dresses.
I was gonna say, like, your shape can include a pretty dress if you want.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be easier than taking one from a child.
That depends on the child.
But this is actually true. Never mind. Toddlers, you can get clothes from pretty easily. You just gotta wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And watch.
Maud will transform into this like 2-year-old, like just old enough to walk. Not well. This flop of crazy black hair. And yet some dress of some sort that is kind of an abstract, messy version of that one over there.
Yeah. And I think
And is going to
think
join in
Jeremiah-
just running around.
when Jeremiah catches you, he'll kind of give you a fond little pat and just, did you find out what it means for things to be important to you?
No.
That's all right. It's like you told me. There's lots of time.
Yes. Lots of time. The beech trees will last longer than you will.
Yes,
Jeez.
they will. And Jeremiah points at the tiny person running around with the dog. But when she's bigger, she won't be hungry. That's what's important to me.
Making little people bigger with food. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Food for the
Yes.
little people.
Food for the little people, yes.
Toddler Maud is going to wander off.
Yeah, Toddler Maud just goes on an adventure. This is wonderful. Thank you all so much for going to the party with me.
Yeah.
I love you all dearly.
This was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're all perfect. It's memory time. It's time for memories. Give them to me. Also, in chat, we have Pemily, who has chosen to learn the form of a kitty.
There you
Very
go.
excellent.
Ooh.
Very powerful form. Very dignified.
I am not at all surprised by this. I know Pemily personally, and this is exactly what I would have expected.
A kitty is a good thing to be.
True.
They're good friends. So, memories. Does anybody have any memories to share with me? My favorite memory was the moment when Carpacci realized we can go up. We can go up and fight the birds. I was like, this is nightmarish. But yes. Let's take this golden retriever to the sky and fight the birds. Then I had to introduce bird characters. It was good.
That was very good. I didn't know you had to introduce the bird character.
Yeah. I was like, who's the representative of the birds? I guess a bigger bird.
Accurate, yeah. I think my favorite memory was Maud and Brackish tackle the dog because the dog wants to fight, and it's playtime, and
Yeah.
and then Carpacci comes in with a right hook.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I really liked Brackish working through and trying to solve the problem so that he wasn't a liar. Just making it work, finding some way to make it work.
That was
Yeah,
good.
no, give me time. Give me
Uh-huh.
time, and I won't be a liar anymore. I promise.
Find some way to rationalize it. Yep.
I was not expecting crows bring people food, but it was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Brackish decided, like, basically saying, like, oh, like, this festival is for you, Shaggy. And it was like, let's go with this.
I imagine that if you were to tell a raven that everyone was there to celebrate him, he'd accept that wholeheartedly.
Oh, absolutely.
They seem like very self-serious birds, and I love that about them. A lot of birds seem so. Oh, yeah, show off, why don't you? Show off that you can yawn. Rub it in.
Show that I can laugh very loudly with my jaw. With my mouth open.
Yeah. How dare you? Thank you so much for playing my little dragon game with me, everyone. I really appreciate it. It was nice. And chat, thank you so much for joining us and for chatting. And if you didn't chat but you watched us, thank you. Because that was wonderful too.
Mm-hmm.
And for donating
and the
for the
donations.
baby dragons.
Yes.
And
Yes, for helping the baby dragons and also for the calls, which is very helpful. We got an extra $50 in today, which is great. I believe that doubles what we were sitting at. So
I'm
we're
so
at
glad,
about
everyone.
$100. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, I need to have a listen, Talus Muse, and I need to have just like a jaw issues fist bump. Because that it is very important to me that people have, you
Mhm.
know, rights
Mhm.
and bodily autonomy and
Mhm.
other
Yep.
such things. And so when it was proposed that this be for charity, I of course was thrilled, and I'm so glad that we were able to add to that total today. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Thank you guys for agreeing to do this with me and making it so easy.
Happy.
It was a great time.
Yes.
I was very much looking forward to this game. Getting back to
Aw.
Maud. Maud can be a difficult character to get into, but I feel like I'm about as spacey as Maud is on a regular
I
basis
love
right
Maud.
now. So
I feel like this is kind of like a backstory of how Maud acquired their like love of humanity
Oh
and
yeah,
want to protect humanity.
you have to make the
And
little
it's
people grow by giving them food. It's
yeah,
very important.
very sweet. Yeah. It's my other memory is that like I had names written down for people and I should have realized that was on my initiative.
Players don't ask for names.
They absolutely don't. And I'm experienced enough to know that. I don't know what happened.
And we're playing baby dragons.
Yeah, like names were far from the forefront here.
Emily, I'm so glad that you found the baby dragons very baby. I did too. They're very sweet, baby. Gang, I'm just absolutely dying. Thank you again. I love you all very, very much. Do I hand this off to you for the dismount, or do I do it? 'Cause if I do it, it's
I'll
gonna be a
bring us
mess.
home. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, once again, thank you so much for creating and running this fantastic game. Badger Donna,
Aw.
thank you so much for being back with us. It was great to have the gang back together for something related but entirely different. It was a fun, wholesome time. I enjoyed playing and getting to play with other baby dragons, and I think it fit exactly exactly what we were going for, and I think it was a nice
Yeah.
wholesome break from some of the things that we've had going on in all of our lives right now. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and chat, thank you so much for hanging out, for stopping by. I've seen a lot of new faces. Thanks for hanging out in chat and being awesome. I've been trying to keep up with some of the messages. Thank you so much for the donations and making things easier for us awkward little baby dragons who really try to do stupid things. But it was all for good fun, all for a good cause, and this has been fantastic. So yes, this was just one of many nights of games that I have planned all throughout July. You can go follow us on Twitter or come hang out in our Discord, both which are linked below. That'll be the best way to keep in touch with everything that we have going on. I have a number of different games. I have games set up every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday throughout July, with a few other outliers, and I'm still creating new games and scheduling for new games. So I will be releasing a weekly announcement, weekly schedule of the games we have coming up. The most notable one I will be getting next week's schedule out, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. But the next game coming up is this Sunday. We are going to be returning to Veil of the Void, another flashback to one of our RPGs, Uncovered Season. That was Season 1. A little mix up in some of the scheduling that we've had recently. So I will be running that game instead of Trevor. So I will be back in the GM seat for Veil of the Void. I have some great players lined up, and we might also see some familiar things from the Siren Sun. So if you've been with the channel, you will see things related to what we had going on, but they are by no means required information. So come hang out. It'll be a great sci-fi, science fiction, very cinematic journey. Something completely different from this. We will not be baby dragons. We will be all kinds of crazy spell flinging, laser gun shooting aliens
Yeah.
out doing space adventure time.
Very cool.
Uh,
Lasers.
yes, lots of lasers. And then next week we have two sort of magical high school hijinks coming up with a game of alchemical romance and a game of Monster Hearts 2. So again, come hang out on Twitter or Discord for more information on all of those. Check out the links down below for the National Abortion Federation and the Center for Reproductive Rights. And this link will be active all throughout July. So if you are watching this on VOD or on YouTube and it's still July, still feel free to make a donation. It will be going to these two organizations. And if the link is not still active, if we are past July, I'm sure it's still an important cause. So make a donation either here or to any of your local clinics, local charities, because there's a lot of people on the local level that need help too. I think that's my ending spiel. So, thank you all for joining us, and as always, everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, keep having fun, and keep checking back here at the People's Ascension for more month of one-shots charity content. And, you know, when there's a festival dedicated to a grove, dedicated to feeding little people to make them grow, one of the best things you can bring to celebrate such festivals is a nice bushel of heart tomatoes, because they're delicious. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you throughout July for more.